Welcome to Variant Edition, your source for comic book news and culture. It's Tuesday, January 22nd, 2008, and we're back!
So it's been a few weeks, yeah, we suck.
But we're back, and though you may not have noticed anything different this week, there are quite a few changes in store for Variant Edition.
That's right, we got a few episodes that we shot at the end of 07 to get out there, but come February, get ready for an all-new, all-different Variant Edition.
But enough teases, this is a slightly expanded Variant Edition Tuesday.
Right, so get ready for a quick dose of comic knowledge that will prepare you to step into your comic shop this week.
Hi, I'm Lewis, and here's a look at what comics you can expect to find in shops this week. So with the new year, we decided to change things up a bit. As much as I'm sure that everyone would love to hear me speed talk through all the lists of new releases, we're going to present them a little like we've been doing the last few shows. But don't worry, I'll be back after with something. Okay, so now that you got a pretty good idea of what's coming out this week, what's our pick of the week? There are a couple strong contenders out this week, including our favorite Mice Templar, but this week it's the mutants that get the top billing. X-Men 207 concludes the groundbreaking Messiah Complex storyline, and it's run throughout all the X-books for the last few months. You hear major crossover and groundbreaking story pretty often in comics, but seldom do the stories actually deliver, and Messiah Complex has delivered. The story actually features some surprises and lasting changes, and I can't wait to see how it wraps up. This is the story that changes everything and sets up the X-Men for years to come.
We hate to interrupt ourselves, but as we were putting together today's episode, major news outlets began reporting that Academy Award nominee Heath Ledger was found dead in a New York apartment. Police have stated that while they do not suspect foul play, it may be drug-related. Police spokesman Paul Brown told CNN this afternoon that pills were found in the vicinity of his bed, but at this point it is unknown if Ledger's death is accidental or the result of a suicide. Ledger rose to fame after playing a gay cowboy in 2005's Brokeback Mountain, which earned him both a Golden Globe and an Academy Award nomination. But most of our viewers will probably know him best from his upcoming role as the Joker in Chris Nolan's The Dark Knight. The film is set for release in July and seems to be in post-production, meaning that filming should be completed, but we're not sure if his death will have any effect on the production. We will have more details next week as information is released. Heath Ledger was 28 and is survived by his 2-year-old daughter.
Hi, I'm Nick, and these are your headlines for Tuesday, January 22nd, 2008. Alright, the news the last few weeks has pretty much been dominated by Marvel, and we mean the real news. Cover your ears if you haven't left the basement for a month, but Spider-Man is not married anymore, and the mainstream news picked up on that. Much like Spider-Man's unmasking and the death of Captain America, the news week was slow enough that papers had a few column inches for Marvel. But we're not going to get into that here. But be assured that we do have some opinions on the matter, and expect a discussion show soon. Back to the news. Before our holiday break, the world of digital comics was increasingly becoming a major news story, and it doesn't look to be changing anytime soon. This time it was fledgling Boom Comics that gets the headlines. They decided to release their entire first issue of their new fantasy book, Northwind, right online. No big deal, right? Companies do that all the time. The difference here is this time it went live at the same time the issue hit the stores, and they didn't tell those stores about the promotion before they ordered the books. Ouch for those stores. Yeah, needless to say, retailer response hasn't really been the best. But Boom did say that they sold out of their first issue shortly after release. Which is probably good, seeing as no retailer is going to want to order this book again. Oh, wait. They just ordered a second printing? Whatever. Top Cow seems to be using MySpace to their benefit. Last year, they released 5 different #1 issues of comics that fans could then vote to see which would continue as a regular series. Top Cow announced this week that over 2.5 million votes have been cast, and they have surpassed any of their estimates. The voting just wrapped up, so we should have a winner soon. Alright, enough bits and bytes, let's talk comic movies with Eddie.
Thanks, Nick. The WGA strike is still going on with no end in sight, and it looks like the Justice League movie may end up being a casualty of that strike. Entertainment Weekly is reporting that the filmmakers wanted to take another pass at the script before starting production, but with the strike, that means no writers. So it seems that the movie is on indefinite hold. Warner has let the option lapse on the cast, but would-be Wonder Woman Megan Gale confirmed that she was cast as the Amazonian warrior and will remain committed to the role until it goes back into production. But on to some good news. Both the Hulk and Iron Man films are on track for release this year, and Marvel has released some new pictures from the shoots. Still no good look at the Hulk yet, but I wouldn't expect it until the teaser is released anyway. Back to you, Nick.
Thanks, Eddie. To wrap up, let's talk about sellouts. The holiday season apparently hasn't hurt sales much for Marvel or DC. They both announced sellouts and reprints of some of their recent releases. World of Warcraft #2 sold out, and will ship a reprint with a black and white Jim Lee cover January 23rd. Marvel announced that the Hulk #1 sold out as well. For those of you that don't know, it's the one with the red Hulk. The reprint will be back out a week before #2 ships. And finally, Mark Millar and Brian Hitch are set to take over the Fantastic Four with number 554 in February. Marvel previously announced that their run would be 12 issues, but Newsarama reported Millar had told them to now expect 16. And before you start the jokes about delays, Marvel has told retailers that Hitch has completed a number of issues already and is well ahead of schedule for a change. Well, that's it for the news this week. I'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Mike, and this week's book of the week, Amazing Spider-Man, number 546. Since we've been gone a while, we missed giving you our take on the Brand New Day storyline. Love it or hate it, there is no denying that both installments of Brand New Day have been the most talked about comics in the last 2 weeks. The endless whining about Aunt May is over and a deal has been struck. Peter Parker never married Aunt Mary Jane. Peter Parker has always been single. The last 30 years or so have happened a lot differently than we remember. Spider-Man is swinging single, in his late 20s, mooches off his Aunt May, and is in between jobs. That reminds me a lot of the internet fanboys. Of course, without the sense of power and responsibility. Anyway, this storyline has set Spider-Man fans on edge, and while many may not like the way it happened, it sure seems hard to predict what might happen next.
Alright, that's it for Variant Edition Tuesday this week.
The big thing to remember is that we're back. Like we said, we've got a few older episodes to get out there, and starting in February, it's Season 3.
We've got a lot planned, and we think everyone's gonna like it.
We won't say too much about it now, but we just wanted to let everyone know that we are now committed to being a weekly show. We will keep that schedule, whether it means death or whatnot. We're going to tweak a few things and make it all happen.
And once those things have been thoroughly tweaked, we've got tons of footage from cons from the last year that we will finally get out there.
I'm looking forward to the thorough tweakage. We started the show in 2006, and our first episode came out February 16th of that year. So when the 16th rolls around, we'll be starting our third year online.
Yeah, and speaking of looking back, last week the Star Ledger, the New Jersey newspaper, ran a piece about us on the front page of the Today's section.
It was pretty cool to be in the paper, and if you missed it or don't get the Star Ledger, they also put a slightly longer version online.
Yeah, that picture of us is going to look nice at the bottom of somebody's, birdcage. But anyway, they also left out something. For the past 2 years, Variant Edition has shot almost every episode at Classic Comics in Rahway, New Jersey. Classic Comics has been around for more than 13 years, and really fits their tagline of being your friendly neighborhood comic book shop.
We all buy our books there. Kevin and Lewis work there. Variant Edition is what it is today because of Classic Comics.
Yep. Oh, and a blurb. They have a subscription service where you can save up to 20% off your comics. Check out ClassicComics.com for more details.
And remember, VariantEdition.com is still the easiest way to watch us. If you have missed it for the last 2 years, there are a few other ways. You can get us on your iTunes and Vimeo and YouTube and Google Video, and there's a sweet high-res version on Blip TV, but VariantEdition.com is still the easiest way to get us.
That's right. I mean, really, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. So stay tuned.
It's like, why have the cow when you can get the milk for free? Or something. Anyway, Season 3 is going to be a lot better than this episode, so you guys stay tuned.
I think this was a great episode. I don't know. Black Panther going down again. It's going to be great.
You and Black Panther.
Hal Jordan. Sometimes Ben Reilly, also known as Peter Parker's clone. No, not. Ben Reilly was not Peter Parker's clone. Psych!
I thought you said Peter
Peter Parker was the clone of Peter Parker. Ben Reilly was actually Peter Parker. Woo!
I thought you said Peter Parker's cologne. I'm like, what's that got to do with anything? Because you were like, cologne! And I'm like, cologne.
He's taping all this. You know.
I know.
Let's get blooper reel.
Okay, wait. Can we just I just need one review. I know this is our book of the week, and I know, the 2 books have come out already. I just want to do a quick review of Spider-Man 546 and 547, The Amazing Spider-Man. This kind of picks up after, this exact pickup after Brand New Day. Or One More Day, excuse me. This is the Brand New Day. Very confusing. Too many days involved. So we got, basically, if you want to put it this way, the 1970s status quo of Spider-Man / Peter Parker. He's living with his Aunt May again. The past 30 years or so of continuity is in play, but a little differently. Anything that happened in the titles before did happen, just made it happen a little differently. So he was a teacher. All the stuff that happened in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man did take place, and yada, and yada, yada. So living with Aunt May, mooching off her, no job. Mary Watson no longer in the picture. But no Gwen Stacy, surprisingly enough. But Harry's back. How about that for a little, change? So the book, it's got a great start. I'm really enjoying it a lot more, actually, since, the post-Civil War stuff, because it was really dark before. He was going through a rough time, and it was getting really edgy, even though that was part of, the character's, evolution in the past couple of years or so. But it's back to, good times, plain normal life of, your everyday Joe Schmo, kind of like myself. And it's great, because if you watch the animated series, this is basically, wow, I'm watching the cartoon, but it's a little more updated. It's not as bad and cheesy as it used to be, especially with the 3D, cartooning. That was really bad back in the day. But using his Spider-Man, using his spider tracers, the original old school, web shooters, the whole dual identity thing is being played up again, and it's a lot of fun. Interesting set of characters with, Harry, his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's friend, who looks like she's got a little bit more going on than meets the eye, but we're going to have to wait to see where that goes. I'm really looking forward to how this first story arc wraps up and see what the next couple months of Spidey brings, because if you haven't been paying attention, it's 3 or 4 creative different teams of writers and artists, and there will be a full storyline each month. So that means Amazing Spidey 3 times a month, guys. So all in all, I think it's been pretty good so far. Didn't like how that deal went down in One More Day, but it's been playing out okay. But we just got to stay tuned to see what happens.